Hey, this is Werner and you're listening to Finding Frequency. I'm taking a brisk walk past our jaukies, the little country houses that are just outside our little apartment block where people have their little houses, and I must say it looks a little bit abandoned because the weather is changing, and when the weather is changing in Poland, you don't want to be sitting in your jaukie. There's no heating, there's no sun, there's no joy. But that's a lie. Weather's actually been great the last couple of days in the sense of like it's still fresh and crisp. And I'm feeling positive just being outside a little bit in this fresh air. It's actually refreshing. How is that for a choice of words? But a bit of a frustrating day battling with my internet connection. It's a human right after all. And my human right wasn't working today. Or it was haphazard, which can be frustrating when you want to work at pace. And pace is what I needed today. And sometimes you just aren't allowed to have the pace that you require. But you make the best of things, right? And that's what I did today. But we are slowly preparing ourselves. It might not be, but we are planning to go to Brodnica this weekend to go see the house. I have to go register. And I might not be able to register tomorrow, so we have to make a plan because leaving my office earlier than 12 o'clock is a problem. And the drive to Brodnica is 2 hours at the very least. So I might have to do some creative thinking around that. Perhaps maybe going to our hallowed estate. I like saying that. Hallowed estate. Perhaps on Monday. But I need to run that past the project manager, who is Marta. I don't know if I spoke about this, but Marta has secured a new position. She's going to be... I did mention it, I think. Wow, I forget about our conversations. But she's going to be a service designer for a big company soon, a senior service designer. And in our design, well, that is quite nice. And I'm actually a little bit jealous, but she deserves it. I did think I did mention this to you in a previous episode, but it's kind of... The reason I'm mentioning it is that she's also now in the state of wrap-up. Have you ever left a company where, it's this awkward space because you're kind of transitioning, but then your colleagues around you isn't really taking notice because they have their own things that they're dealing with. So they are not feeling that same transition. And that is a little bit awkward, and she's kind of dealing with that at the moment. It's not a negative thing, it's just a natural thing. Because... even if we struggle with our pains and our sorrows and all these things, there's always people in transitions and then people just doing what they need to do every day. And that's how we kind of live past each other sometimes, not taking heed of what that other person feels or is experiencing, or perhaps vice versa. It's also true, right? But so it's exciting times for her, and hopefully it'll be an easy transition. I'm trying to facilitate that as much as I can as hubby. But then also, I wasn't intending to talk about it, but today, Frantzi, my little 4-year-old son, went to his kindergarten dressed as St. Francis, because in Poland, a lot of people's names are related to a saint. Marta, Justina, Elizabeth, Łukasz, Matthias. It's kind of, you have your name day where you're aligned with the saint. Franz is not in a true sense, because he's been named after my dad, Franz. That's a heavy German name, which is going to be heavy for him here in Poland. But the natural parallel is Franciszek, St. Francis, who talks to animals and loves animals. So Marta dressed him up in a brown blanket, an ear warmers that looks like a weird saint kind of hairstyle vibe, and he's out the door today. Apparently enjoyed it very much. But between you and me, the real truth is he really wanted to go dressed up as a firefighter. It's not going to work, Frantzi, not in Poland. So that was kind of the vibe. And then I think on a professional level, one of the big things I'm struggling with now is I've got a small project that is very messy and I'm struggling. One of my personal things is that I'm very good at starting a project and owning a project, but when I have to step into someone else's little mess, and maybe stating mess is different, someone else's way of thinking about a project or running a project, I find it fundamentally really hard to do. It's like weird. Where do I start? Where can I actually kick things off? And then, still struggling a little bit with some big corporate challenges that I need to solve from a previous project. And it's not going as planned as I wanted to. And it's causing a bit of friction, frustration, and disappointment because I have a lot of promises that I have to keep. And actions of other people are stopping me from keeping those promises, which is it's uncomfortable. It's affecting a lot of people around me. So I'm still trying to navigate through that. And it's always hard because I love to and I want to avoid friction and conflict. It's not something, but I feel like it's moving into a space where I have to be candid about what it is that I require, and it's gonna have to happen. But for the time being, I'm just trying to be focus on the positive and try, even within this conflict, to remain positive and hopefully come forward with some solutions and some alternatives. Let's see what happens. Wow, this has been way too long. I think it's because I got out of the office and just got a bit of fresh air in my brain. Now I just want to hang out with you and talk about life. But there is so much extraordinary to be grateful for, and trying to remain focused on that. So from a fresh Polish afternoon, not a cloud in the sky, just a chill in the air, I want to thank you for listening.